This concludes the workshop of the McAllen City Commission. Workshops are held on the second and fourth Monday of each month at 4 p.m. in the City Commission. And now we move into a workshop of the McAllen City Commission held in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act. All workshops are open to the public and serve as an opportunity for city staff to present detailed information, reports, and updates to the Commission in preparation for future action or decisions. While no formal votes are taken during these sessions, workshops play an important role in the city's policymaking and decision-making process.
Good afternoon. Welcome to today's City Commission meeting. Workshop. Okay.
Any questions for staff, Mayor?
Huh?
Any questions
Yeah,
for staff?
that's anything. Any questions for today's meeting? Nope. No? Okay, we'll go item number 2, presentation of street light.
Hi, good afternoon, Mayor and City Council members. I'm here, Marlene Garza with the Traffic Operations Director, with Esteban Ramos, our traffic designer. He's the one predominantly working on this project and doing all the coordination with AEP and Magic Valley. And also with us is Mr. Juan Olaguibel, our Assistant City Manager. We'll go ahead and get started with our presentation. The presentation is an update to the Streetlights by District project. The goal of this project is to add additional lighting to existing neighborhoods, which is phase 1, and also to high-volume arterials, which is phase 2. Back when we presented this project, we had different priorities that we presented, and these were the two that the City Council at that time wanted to move forward with. The last time we were before you regarding this project was last spring, in April actually of 2025. Just a reminder, this is an in-house project. Everything that has been done for this project has been solely done with or by the Traffic Department in coordination with Magic Valley and AEP. And I say this because we've realized that putting maps together was how we initially started, and as we went further and further along, we quickly realized that it was going to be a big undertaking, and we'll go over it through the construction process, but I kind of just want to remind the board that this is an in-house project. High volume roadways are going to be part of phase 2. The map on the presentation just kind of gives you an idea of what arterials we want to tackle. Mainly the state roads, also some minor arterials like Hackberry Avenue that don't have as many lanes but still serve a lot of traffic in our area. This is just kind of like a go-by. We do plan to add more as we might see necessary. But this is a good list and map to start off. As of today and the last couple of fiscal years, this slide shows how many streetlights we've added. We've made significant progress in the last couple of years. When we first started and we only had 20 streetlights installed in to know what they needed, and they knew what we could put together. We started to develop traction, and that's how we had 50. Last year we had 89 streetlights. That's been, a good amount of lights that we've been able to install based on their process and the staff resources that we have. This status to date table, it shows every single district and the number of lights that we've been able to install. It shows what was completed last year and also what we've been able to do in this last year. For districts 1 and 2, since they do have a significant portion taken or jurisdiction by Magic Valley, you will see that a lot of that large percentage that is still pending is probably because it's Magic Valley. We did submit the information that they need to be able to get designs going, but we have not received any information from them. So we have not been able to move any of those streetlights with that jurisdiction. Districts 3, 4, and 5, and also 6 are all within AEP, so we've been able to make a little bit more progress in those districts.
Okay, so when you say you're not getting good response from Magic Valley Electric,
That's correct.
what are we doing about that? And now I ask that to our city manager.
Honestly, I have not reached out yet. This presentation is the first I've heard. We're not having responses, but believe me, Magic Valley will hear from me in the morning.
Okay, that's all I wanted to hear.
I mean, Magic Valley, I get the impression they're more responsive than AEP. How do you submit something in November 24 and we haven't heard from them for 2 years?
Yes, so when we submitted the information, or in the time that we've been working with Magic Valley, we have noticed their response time is a lot slower. We've asked them why that is, and a lot of the times they'll say it's staffing issues. So we've been a little bit more patient with them, but we have built a lot of traction with AEP. So we've been, moving on those areas that we can move forward, and we've been focusing with Magic Valley at least on repairs. And we'll follow up on these projects, but we won't get a lot of feedback from.
I guess how long does design take for AEP?
It depends on the location, because in some areas there's transformers available and lots of connection points, and in some other areas they're further away from the proposed location. I would say around a couple of weeks to a month.
I guess Districts 5 and 6 have 0%.
Or two.
They were submitted to AEP in late 24, early 25. Pending design, if design takes, let's say 2 months even, because nothing's been done, I guess.
Correct. So because we'll meet quarterly with AEP, and we'll bring these items up, and they say that they want to work district by district.
Okay,
They
that's
are
fine.
already working.
So I think you need it for the public or more for reporting. I don't think we need to put pending design. I think you need to put really pending the previous districts. In other words, those districts haven't really started. Pending design gives me the impression something has started, and it's hard to tell someone, well, we started it in 24. And, I don't think that status update is
We can
in
change
line
it.
with what they're doing.
We can change it.
I think
Traffic
I know
staff.
what you mean by pending design, but that will tell the public that it's started.
I think it's more accurate just to say pending.
Yeah, because we've done on our part on those districts, but we have no control over AEP, so we've done all we could. So we don't want to say we've done nothing, we've done something.
Yes, no, I
But
get that.
it's an AEP, or however they want to schedule
I think
it.
it's submitted to AP pending completion of districts 1, 2, 3, 4, right?
Okay, yeah, we can change that.
So that you could tell people there's an order to it.
Yes, we can change it. Is there any more questions on this slide?
Well, four had the most need, so I think I think we agreed upon when we started it that District 4 was.
Yeah, well, actually, that's a good point. District 4 was our pilot project. When I started with the traffic department back in 2020, the traffic department had completed all of District 4. And so when I came in, all the maps were ready. All we did was submit that over to AEP, and that's why that district got started first. We presented the results, and I believe the council at that time really liked the project and wanted to see it replicated in all the other districts. And so that's why District 4 is completed, because it was the first district that it was a pilot project. Any other questions? I know this table has a lot of information, so I want to make sure that. Okay, so next we'll go to District 1. Again, this is largely, or a good portion of it is Magic Valley. All the other streetlights have been broken down by where they're at with what status. We have had a total of 75 streetlights installed. I think there could be more, but again, we'll have to circle back with Magic Valley to see if we can get those other streetlights moving. District 2 has 20 lights that were installed, and They're all pending other statuses for different parts of construction, but again, also, we do have a good portion of them in Magic Valley jurisdiction. We'll go to District 3 and 4. District 3, probably from this project, has seen the largest number of streetlights installed. That's largely because it is all AEP jurisdiction, so we've been able to get lots of streets installed in working with AEP. We do still have a couple pending in construction and also in design, and very few need right of entry or easements. District 4, again, was a pilot project, so that's why you'll see 100% completion, because it is AEP and because we were able to have this be the only district where all we were doing for a couple of months was just the streetlight project in this
But
district.
were you were adding new lights or you were changing the old lights?
Adding new
Adding new
lights
lights.
to meet existing standards under the subdivision code, if that makes sense.
And who was the one that decided where light were needed?
The traffic department. So we'd take a subdivision and we would look at, let's say there was 3 lights, and then we would say, you know what, this subdivision was built in 1980. And if we applied the new construction standards to that subdivision, it would need to have 5 lights. So we would need to add additional lights to bring it up to code. And so that's how we went through every single subdivision in all the districts, first in District 4, and then all the districts in all of the city of McAllen, and that's how we determined what the location was and how many lights within each subdivision.
But you also updated some lights from yellow to white.
Yes, it hasn't been part of this project. It's mostly been through requests through 311.
Just for clarification, and there might be some lingo here, can you please explain to me what boring and what happened with canceled there?
So boring is something that the city has to do for AEP. This boring is usually required for overhead installations. I'm not sure, underground. I'm not sure if you all have seen the concrete
Okay.
wood poles. You don't see any wires on the top.
Gotcha.
Everything is underground. And so the boring process, which is
Ground
digging
boring.
underground,
Ground boring.
has to be installed or has to be done for some of those streetlights. If it's overhead, it's a lot easier because everything is aerial, but we still have to coordinate with AEP on if new poles need to be installed, the connection to a transformer, things like that. And then you mentioned, what was the other question?
Canceled.
Canceled. Those are usually requests that we get from the property owner. The property owner will say, I don't want that street light in front of my property. I think we have sufficient lighting, so we've canceled it and we've moved on to the next location.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Then districts 5 and 6, as I mentioned, we have submitted the information to AEP, but AEP has not wanted to start on design or construction of these projects until they complete the pending districts. They want to go in order.
One of the requests that I get a lot in District 3, and I know it's perhaps a different topic, but are the alleys that are not lit up. This is just mostly for streets.
Yes, at the moment, the city does not necessarily prioritize alleys, mainly because they're supposed to be used as service drives. We prioritize the streets that are used by the traffic. Any questions on so far? Just a reminder that this is a construction process. And as part of the construction process, we're doing underground digging, and we want to make sure we involve the property owner, especially when we have to go through their property or we're doing work in front. Sometimes some of them have landscaping they want to protect, and so we want to make sure we involve them. We do send them notification. We also give them enough time to respond. That's also partially why the projects has seemed to take a long time. We want to make sure that we give the property owners a chance to know what we're doing and why we're doing it. A lot of the times they are receptive to the project that is going on. Very rarely are they against it. But nonetheless, once that notification process is completed, we do let AEP know, and then they continue from then on. And that's also one of the reasons why it can be timely to install these streetlights. But nonetheless, the AEP team is working on several locations simultaneously, and I think that's also might be the reason why they don't want to get started on a new district, just because they have maybe 5 or 6 going on at one time that they're trying to complete to keep moving forward. Phase 2, which is highlighting and targeting high-speed arterials or minor arterials and major arterials. We have commenced it for east-west traffic, for east-west streets. We have submitted this information. In the times that we've been meeting quarterly with AEP, they did notify us that they do have a team that takes care of just upgrades. And so these may move a lot quicker than new installs. So upgrades is usually where they'll go in and they'll take out the high pressure sodium, which will be usually the orange bulby light, and they'll take it out and replace it with AEP. So we're hoping that these will be a lot quicker as far as installation process goes. And these will be on major arterials. That's it. Unless anybody has any questions, that I'd be happy.
Besides calling 311, what system do we have in place for to report or to fix lights that are out? Because they usually illuminate at night. So how do we monitor that?
Yes, so we do a quarterly street light survey, is what we call it. We, as the traffic staff, go out there and drive all of the streets in McAllen, and we tag all the lights that are out. We write down all the information that we know AEP and Magic Valley need. We take that information and we report it to Magic Valley or also AEP, whatever jurisdiction they fall within. And then we do it again. We just completed one here in March, I believe, and the next one will be in June. Then we will do one in September and then one in December. So that's another way that if people cannot report streetlights, they don't know how to report streetlights, that's another way that the traffic department is able to help out residents in lighting, public streets.
Thank you.
Marlene, a question. You mentioned on phase 2, you're going to do the bigger street, right? Like
Yes.
the Pecan and that. That's where you're going to start changing those different lights,
Yes.
the amber type or whatever you call it. So we're going to start there, and then we're going to start in neighborhoods later on, or because there's still a lot of lights in neighborhoods that are.
Yes, we're always going to be continuing with the work in the neighborhoods, and we go largely off of the 311 requests, people calling in, or through any request that the council gets. We will always be working in neighborhoods, but we will probably stop with the streetlights by district project and see what other opportunities we have to be able to continue to add street lighting.
Some of in our alleys in District 4, there is some lights. But they're at the entry when you enter the alley, but they're the amber lights. So they're not the theater light.
So lights are one of the biggest draws on our electric bill, and we prioritize as an organization putting the lights in areas where public safety demands it, in alleys, on the backside of structures, the back of commercial locations, things like that. That's generally the responsibility of the landowner.
Like on the alleys here on downtown McAllen. So if I was asked for a light, the owner of those properties have to put the light?
Yeah, they can come in and request to do so, and we can give them permission to do that.
There's also, Commissioner, already a requirement for the permits that are required downtown to operate establishments that there be adequate exterior lighting at the rear of the establishment, not just the front. So as part of the permitting process, they do install lights on the rear.
Yeah, because those alleys downtown are pitch black.
Well, I mean,
And then the homeless-
I think what you just expressed is, you know, in a house, you put a light in the back
Right.
of your house, so if you want to turn it on, you turn it on. Well, a business establishment should have lights in the back of their house, of their business, and they should be illuminated. I mean, I don't understand why there isn't any lights in the back of the commercial establishments facing the alleys.
In areas where they're required, they generally do exist.
Why are they not required at all times?
There are only certain zones in the city where it's an absolute requirement to have it.
Do you ever see, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, let me just finish this one. I'm not sure, okay, but when you're building a home, is there not a requirement to put a light back of your house?
Yeah,
Thinking-
but I don't want to confuse commercial establishments with residential
Well, I
establishments.
understand that, but why don't we make it a requirement?
That's certainly something that
Because
we can take
it
the
only
ordinance
makes
review and
sense
look
to
at.
do that.
Yeah, we can take that to
You know,
ordinance review and consider it.
You could say that downtown, that you're talking downtown, but there's many establishments, strip centers, okay, that have alleys. You mean to tell me that those, in the back of every establishment, there's not a light there?
I can't tell you for certain whether
Well-
every establishment has one or doesn't have one. I know that they're only required in certain locations. But if it's something that the commission would like, we can certainly have ordinance review take a look at that.
I'll check, we'll check into that, because I think it's almost a must. I'm pretty
I think the one where
sure.
I lease has, where the door's at, the back door, and on top, they have that little,
Right.
Yeah.
a little light, but not a post or,
Correct.
in the alley. And I'm just saying, it's really dark. I mean, but there, I would imagine it's gonna be pretty hard because none of the owners gonna wanna put a light, because they're right next to each other, they're like,
In the
one door
what?
here, one door.
In the commercial or residential?
Commercial. In the alleys of downtown McAllen.
Okay.
So everybody's got their own little light for their own door,
Yeah, I was just gonna comment that there's also instances in where there's commercial buildings that face the alley, and on the other opposite side, you'll have residential. And at times, some of the residential people did not like all that luminescent. I mean, either do or don't, it's a kind of a seesaw situation here, but I've known of some instances of some residential people that don't want all that light. You know what I'm talking about, there's some litigation on that right now, but I don't know why.
Any other questions?
Check it out.
But I think isn't there an ordinance where the light can only be so?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, sir, there is.
Maybe the neighbors, they probably don't know about that ordinance. I mean, I don't think it's on top of their window.
I think that's a very good point, Commissioner, that when it's night, we need that light for safety and security of everyone.
Really?
So just bear with it, with that notion that it's for the betterment of the community.
Oh, thank you. You're all doing a good job. So,
Eduardo? Commissioners, we wanted to give you an update on the drainage utility fee. Engineer is here to do that.
Ingenieros.
Good afternoon, City Manager, Mayor Pro Tem and Commission. Today I have here Maria Cruz, as you all know, the Deputy City Engineer, and myself. We have a presentation on the 8th Annual Drainage Utility Update. We try to give a yearly update on this. We think it's a really good program that was passed by City Commission, and we want to show, one, the money we've collected and how we've used that money, and we think when you see that, you'll see that it's a good program. So I'll get right into it on the first slide. The drainage utility fee, as I said, was adopted in March 2018, and this is paid through your utility bill. These are based on an average impervious area for residential properties. That equals 2,700 square feet or 1 ERU. And so as you build up ERUs, then you're charged a little more. The minimum amount that we charge is $1, and the maximum amount we charge on any property is $75. And projects here will show that are awarded through this program. So right here, we're showing the earnings on the next slide for the 8 years that we've had. We've collected over $9,565,000 approximately, and you can see how that's grown. We show that the trend line looks more, but it's a small growth, but none. As we get users, we get a little bit of a growth in that program. The new accounts per year, and you'll see why that growth is. We started with 280, but then we went to 679. And if you look at that, we're growing about 784 average new customers or new properties that come online. We're at 1,106 right now. When we talk about why we like...
In 2025, we're at 1106
Yes, sir.
new accounts.
New accounts. Well, no. That's total accounts. That's new accounts
Per year.
and the added ones that we've had,
This is existing accounts.
existing accounts. Well, that's a new growth.
Those new
That's a
growth.
new growth.
That's
No.
only the new accounts.
Yeah, that's only the new accounts.
Right, what I was showing is our growth, to pinpoint the growth in new accounts,
Yeah,
new
so
residents.
When you take all of that,
new
it averages
dwellings.
784, but you can see that it's been growing through that. So here's the part we want to show the success of this program. At the time when this was done, we showed the projects we wanted to take on and how we've used that money. And so we've completed 9 projects here, about $3,222,000 worth of projects that we've completed. When we go to the next phase, we got 3 under construction. We got some fairly big projects. We had the Balboa Acres Stormwater Infrastructure Pump Station that's completing. We have the Harvey Stormwater Pump Station that's under construction right now. And then we have the McAllen Lateral Project that's under construction right now. Very big drainage projects, cover big service areas. We'll show you a slide at the end of all the projects and then the drainage areas that they cover. When we go on to the 4th slide, here's some projects that we have coming up that need potential funding. We have Torres Acres roadway drainage improvements. That's about $1.3 million project that's waiting to come online. We have the Northeast McAllen Edinburgh lateral. Right now, we're working on buying right-of-way with these funds. We have the 2nd and Savannah project. That's under design. Hope to try to get that online next year. And then we have the Train Zone lateral channel. That's just on the west side of our south wastewater plant to expand what I call Sarah Ditch, but staff calls the Trade Zone lateral channel. That'll give us more capacity for the Balboa area. Those projects total $7.2 million. So when we look at this, we've had the 8-year update. We have both new commercial and residential accounts start at 99 cents until we bring them in and assess their ERU. Staff goes through, and then we put them online.
Let me
Yes, sir.
express something. All my years, I got a call just last week. They came in and paid the bill, their water bill here. It had itemized and it said miscellaneous item or miscellaneous charge. MISC fee. Miscellaneous fee. And it had $1.75. He says, what is that for? So I called Mark, okay, at PUB. Hey, Mark, what is that charge for? It says, what's that? He says, that's your drainage fee. So it's labeled miscellaneous fee. It's not labeled.
We can look into that. I wasn't aware that, how that was labeled. In fact, mine gets paid online, so
Everybody does it differently.
I'll be honest, I
This
haven't
is-
looked. I'll take a
this is-
look.
This is what's printed out when somebody comes and pays it here at City Hall or somewhere. So it might be correct somewhere, whatever, but it said miss. And Mark said, man, that's the charge, and I'll look into
change that.
changing it, yeah.
We'll look in that together.
Okay.
We
That makes
certainly
a good
want that to
point.
be transparent,
Yeah.
so we will
That's
definitely,
exactly
we
right.
will definitely
I'm
look
saying,
at that.
I don't know what it really says right now on our bill, on my bill. Whether, we pay it online also.
That's a good point, Commissioner. So what we do when we do that, we send out letters to the property owner. HCAD is notified. We sign and return forms with a deadline, and then the account is activated. In our last slide, we just wanted to show you a graphic representation of what we went over. I think this kind of says it a little better on the projects that we have, the projects under construction, the projects that are going, and where they're at in the city and how they look. They didn't put it in there? Is it in your,
It's
is it
in the
in your all's
packets.
packet?
We have it.
In the
Yeah, we have.
This was a last minute change, so I think it didn't make it onto the presentation.
There's
Oh, the
a,
map's on there, yes.
there's a map in your printed packet.
Yes. And so what that does is it'll show you the area of where the projects are, whether they're completed, in construction or ongoing, but where they're spread out through the city, the more or less the drainage area that they're covering, the district that they're in. You can see we have a lot of projects out there. There's a lot of need. And so this utility fee has been put to use. As you've seen, staff is, we pay attention. We're taking citizens' money. We're making sure that we're putting it either to construction or design and getting them ready for improvement out in the city. And so I think this graphic shows you the work that staff's put in, your vision of what that was supposed to be used for. And so we hope that this continues. And so we bring the presentation to see if there's any feedback, and we look, we open it up for the feedback here today.
But we certainly want to update the itemization label on the bills.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
and it's gonna be really important to that large retention area, detention, pond that we have over there in Idella. When that will be fully in use, so that it will help that south side,
Do we have a date on
drainage
this?
problem.
So that's already fully in use right
No,
now.
the Balboa pump?
Not the Balboa pump. You're talking about the RDF.
I'm talking about the RDA
The-
adjacent
on the-
to our south wastewater treatment plant.
So that's been dug out fully right now. They're doing just final fine grading.
Uh-huh.
I'm working on that. As far as the Balboa pump, we're hoping by the end of June we have that online.
We should have it by hurricane season.
That's
A
why,
little bit, I think we're gonna go in, hurricane season starts, I think, June 1st, or
Yeah.
they may say May now. I think they moved it up a month. But it previously was like June 1st. We're gonna be a little bit into June when that gets completed.
but, so you're saying that large retention or that RDA is in use, is
So
used now?
we already have it opened up, the channel drains in there, it'll hold the extra capacity right now. It's more about dressing it up and making it look nice right
No,
now.
but, okay. So approximately what's the volume that it's gonna hold?
I think it's a half a million gallon, 500,000. Half a million cubic yards. We've been advertising about 500,000 because we took about 600,000 cubic yards to Bowie, and this is where we took it out of.
It'll help a lot.
It's gonna make a big improvement. When we get the lateral as well, what we're calling the trade zone lateral, that leads into there. That'll have the full section or the full capacity that we can have for that area.
Okay.
Eduardo, so this is an 8-year plan. Is that correct?
It's a report on what has been accomplished with this fee over the past 8 years.
And there's 16 projects total?
Yes, sir.
In District 3, you have one that is number 13, and it says here, it's ongoing. I just wanted to know what other drainages projects have been completed, perhaps in the city or District 3 as well?
In District 3, the way, is that the peach? I think it is. Right now, it's just 13.
That's 13.
Well, but the county did a lot of widening.
So right now, they're widening, they've done some widening on the ditch, and they're widening some more.
And that's it, that goes through District 3. A lot of it goes through District 3. But you're not, this is City of McAllen.
Only.
Only.
Well, there's been other drainage
There's other
improvements.
drainage projects, and I think that is very important for us to, because in District 1 and all that, we've widened that also. But it's not on our nickel, it's their nickel, okay?
These were only projects
Yes.
completed with the drainage
The
fee.
drainage
assessment.
fee, exactly. So there has been much more improvements done in our city, and even before our city, up in Mission area and other areas that will hold a lot of more
Water
water.
projects, the ones that came out of the bonds.
Yes.
The ones that come out of development corridor.
So we and as an example of what Commissioner Aguirre is mentioning, by the Palmview or the Palmview Community Center, the one on Quince, we did phase 1 and phase 2 off of there, and that's in your district directly.
Right.
But those were through other funds. I think we did those through a grant. And so Tony's, Commissioner Aguirre is correct. There's other funds. We have the Development Corps Fund, we have a TERS, and so other drainage projects are addressed through different fees or funds.
All righty, thank you.
It's all, realistically, despite where these projects, the pump stations might be or certain expansion, all really a part of a large complex interconnected system. So, I mean, improving, doing something in district, whether it resides in District 5 or 3 or 6 or 2, realistically, they're all helping each other. I mean, it's one system of drainage.
That's correct.
Like the laterals, the McAllen laterals.
Laterals
and,
especially.
north, yeah, all of those is where the water goes, and then it goes up to the main drain.
That's correct.
Any other questions for Eduardo?
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Mayor, the remainder of the items on this agenda can be considered in executive session.
We'll recess into executive session.
Estás otro jugador, yo no sé ni jugar.
One, two, three, four. Okay. We have a few public comments. First, we have Miles Diaz.
We please have your name and address for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes.
This concludes the workshop of the McAllen City Commission. Workshops are held on the second and fourth Monday of each month at 4 p.m. in the City Commission chamber, located on the 3rd floor of McAllen City Hall. The public is always welcome to attend or view online. Thank you for staying informed and engaged with the City of McAllen. 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 McAllen.